Hi, I'm Kristen with Soroptimist of Anacortes, and we are at Island Health Hospital in Anacortes. And with me, I've got Barbara and Carmen from Soroptimist. They're part of the Strategic Planning Committee. And then we have Marta, who is the Executive Director for the Hospital Foundation. So we'll start with Barbara and Carmen. Tell us, what is the Strategic Planning Committee, and why are you part of it?
Strategic planning considers grants from the community for $5,000 or more. We consider major projects that are impactful to the community, maybe high visibility, and we often partner with other community organizations. We are part of this because this particular project supports our main goals, and that is supporting women and girls.
In September, we received a grant request from Marta for the purchase of a new generation biliblanket, and it was to replace old equipment that was no longer able to be serviced. So it was kind of an emergency request, and Soroptimist members voted unanimously. As a matter of fact, we cut down our approval time to speed it up. And we're seeing it for the first time today, so we're really excited.
Excellent, thank you. And before we take a look at the machines, we'd like to talk to Marta a little bit about explaining your role in addressing the development needs of the hospital.
Sure. So as Kristen said, I'm the Executive Director of the Island Health Foundation, and I work with senior leadership and departments and physicians, nurse and staff at the hospital to identify gaps in patient care, to identify funding needs where we could step up with technology, equipment, with funds for programming. And this was one of those areas, as Barbara said, that in September became a critical need, and we had already made decisions and allocated funding for capital equipment. And so at that point, when we approached Soroptimist, it was really sort of a Hail Mary for the labor and delivery department, and this new technology is so important and was so needed at the time that we're just incredibly grateful that Soroptimist were able to convene quickly and to make this happen, so that first thing in the new year we were able to order this piece of equipment that's already making a big difference at the hospital.
Wonderful. Well, why don't you introduce us to your team and show us the equipment?
Yeah, so very exciting. And it's fun because we're here in the labor and delivery department, and these are the old machines. So this is what was used, I feel like, a century ago. And then this is sort of one of the newer pieces of equipment, but very big and unwieldy. And then I'm here with Lauren and Macy, who are part of the labor and delivery department, and they're going to show us this amazing new piece of equipment and technology that Soroptimist has generally funded. So Lauren and Macy, thank you.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm the co-director of the birth center. And then Macy is one of our nurses in the unit who is a wonderful resource for patients. First of all, we are so thankful for the support, for seeing the emergency need, for the unanimous vote, for providing equipment that allows us to give excellent care to moms and babies.
Yes, thank you so much. You guys have no idea how thankful we are for this, and it's made such a big difference in our patients' lives. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And then I just wanted to start off by educating you what jaundice is. So I'm sure you guys have heard about like the yellowing of the skin in babies. So jaundice is a buildup of a waste product called bilirubin, which bilirubin is a breakdown of red blood cells. And babies filter through these breakdown of red blood cells through their liver, and then they pee and poop it out. And because they're babies, their livers aren't nearly as mature as ours are. So sometimes they have a little bit of a hard time filtering through these red blood cells, and they just need a little bit of extra help. And so we test every baby before they go home to make sure their level isn't too high. And there's like a threshold depending on their gestation and their hours of life. So we can look this up on like a Billy tool, and it'll tell us like, hey, baby's not at risk, or yes, baby's at risk. And so we will treat it if it says that the baby needs to be treated via the Billy lights. What these Billy lights do, as you can see, this baby's laying on the Billy blankets, which is our favorite personally. So what the Billy lights do, it kind of looks like a little tanning bed, right? These lights break down these red blood cells to even smaller particles, and it helps baby be easier to excrete out via pee and poop, right? So with this blanket, Why I love it so much is we can actually swaddle the baby in this blanket and let mom still have skin to skin time with baby. She can still breastfeed and everything else. With the older ones, it made it a little bit harder. Obviously we would have to stop the treatment just so they could breastfeed for a little bit. This doesn't stop the treatment. Therefore, it's making it quicker that this baby can break down these red blood cells. So we can, I can show you. So we can swaddle the baby either this way or this way. You can kind of wrap the baby like so. We can put like a little gentle swaddle over it to kind of hold it on there. And then this is the Bililux Light. So this one, excuse me. This one we can actually roll over and we can adjust this light like so. So this one can go over the top of baby if baby's staying in the bassinet. So the Billy blanket will kind of hit the back of the baby, and this will hit the top of the baby. And then if not, we don't have to use both, but it is great if we can, because more exposure on the skin. But this one right here, sorry Lauren, like I said, this one's my favorite because it allows bonding time for mom, dad, grandparents, siblings, all of that, without interrupting the treatment. And you can see the baby with a little eye mask on, like looks like a little superhero, and a little diaper on, because we want to expose as much of the skin as possible against these Billy lights.
So we know that jaundice affects about 60% of term newborns and 80% of preterm newborns. Not all of those babies, like Macy mentioned, will require phototherapy treatment, but here at Island Health, probably we see 2 to 4 babies a month who require either an additional stay for phototherapy treatment, or sometimes it requires them to be readmitted. That's something that can often be really hard for families and for parents. They don't want to come back here, they want to be home snuggling their baby, and so the portability of all this, I think, helps to ease the transition here so that they can get back home, and allows them to stay close with their baby. So we have been so thankful for this equipment.
Excellent. Well, that's incredible. Thank you so much for taking the time to explain that. I learned a lot. So let's pivot for just a moment. I kind of like to talk about the relationship between Soroptimist and Island Health Hospital. Can you kind of talk to us about the significance of that partnership?
Absolutely. So as I was looking back through our records, I recognized that there have been over 40 years of partnership between Soroptimist and the Island Health Foundation, and hundreds of thousands of donations and funding that have come in to support efforts at the hospital. And so this group has been a friend, a partner of the Island Health Foundation, of Island Hospital for many, many years, and we're so grateful for that partnership. And again, when there's an urgent need, to be able to reach out to this incredible group of women in our community has just made all the difference, and really all the difference for a very long time. So really appreciate your support.
Well, we are thrilled by this partnership, and we're looking for a continued relationship for a long time.
Yeah.
But we'd also like to thank our amazing community. Thank you. Remember, every time you go to our thrift store and you buy something or make a donation, you're helping us raise money so we can give grants and scholarships to within our community. But if you'd like more information about Soroptimist, our thrift store, or want to make a monetary contribution, go to our website at soroptimistanacortes.org. And you know what? We're all in this together helping, and we thank you for your support.
Thank you, Soroptimist.